Ooh, my people, I am a very proud Ghanaian right now because what President of Ghana, John Mahama, just did at the United Nations General Assembly was powerful. First, he declared it loud and clear: the future is African.
According to this organization's own projections, by the year 2050, more than 25% of the world's population is expected to come from the African continent. Additionally, by 2050, one-third of all young people aged between 15 to 24 will be residing on the African continent. So you see, the future of this world is African. Allow me to say this once again a little louder for those of you in the back. The future is African.
Now, demographics don't lie. The future of this world cannot be written without Africa. And he made that very clear. Then he went straight at the UN's hypocrisy. Quoting the charter itself, he reminded the world that the UN is based on the sovereign equality of all its members. And yet, Africa, with 54 nations, still has no permanent seat on the Security Council. How is that equality?
The most powerful post-World War II nations are still being rewarded with an almost totalitarian guardianship over the rest of the world. And yet, the first sentence in Chapter 2, Article 1 of the UN Charter declares that the organization is based on the principle of sovereign equality of all its members. If this were true, and was the case, a continent as large as Africa, with its numerous UN member states, would have at least one permanent seat on the Security Council.
Now, that line lands so hard that it even gets a hesitant round of applause in the room. Not the confident kind of applause you hear when someone agrees, but the uneasy kind that shows people were maybe a bit uncomfortable because the hypocrisy is so glaring they couldn't ignore it. But clapping too loudly would mean admitting the UN has failed its own principles. And finally, he took it even further.
Madam President, the slave trade must be recognized as the greatest crime against humanity. As the African champion on reparations, Ghana intends to introduce a motion in this August body to that effect.
He called the transatlantic slave trade the greatest crime against humanity. Ooh. And announcing that Ghana will introduce a motion for reparations. That's huge. No charity, no favors, just justice for Africa's past, its people, and its future. So listen, let's be real. This wasn't just a speech. It was a challenge to the entire global system. And now, the question is, will the world listen? And perhaps, more importantly, what will Africa do next if it doesn't? For more on my commentary on Anga 80, visit Panagenius TV on YouTube.